Michael, sorry, good, I think good afternoon on your side. Good afternoon. It's been a quite a long time. I've been seeing from a bit for a while.
Right,
Welcome.
well, welcome everybody to OP Digital Blueprint. I've got two wonderful guests today, Mike and Gideon, and obviously Colin's my usual consort. Welcome to everybody today. We're going to just have a little round robin, a little chat today, and see where it leads us. But say hello, guys.
Hello,
So,
hello.
Michael,
Welcome.
we were chatting before, and you were talking about how this is going to benefit Africa, and what your thoughts were. So, I'd like you to kind of expand on that and just give us some more of your ideas on what you think is going to have happen.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Bro Collins, for the invite. If we know what we got in front of us, we got a gold mine, like Bro Collins would tell us. We got a gold mine. It's just bigger than the gold mine, right? Because if we look at whatever the deficiencies, the problems, little problems that we have in the continent of Africa, I'm taking the whole continent in Africa because let's remember the fourth industrial revolution is coming, and that is starting right in Africa. You know why? Because African has the most young or youthful population in the world now. And you know what? These guys are eager. We all are eager to get something out of this ecosystem which our CEO has blessed us with. Now, let's take for example, if we don't take this as a starting point to rebuild, and I have a small other slogan that I say, let's rebuild our communities together. It is very important. You know why? It is important because if you look at the struggles of what is going on in the world today, you will know that we need something to help. And what is the something? Our CEO, Mr. Ajmufare, designed this platform, the ONPASSIVE ecosystem, for us to use to help. Now, are we going to help in all the aspects? Are we going to solve all the problems? Are we going to enhance, or are we going to use this tool to improve on the living standards of people in the world? Yes, will we do all of that? Guess what? Now, we have an ecosystem that, due to what is called industrialization, is coming. Due to what is called digital transformation, is coming. Is this digital transformation is that way, the advanced way, modernized advanced way for businesses to be run in a different way using the newest technology and the latest that we have in the world. And what do we have? Artificial intelligence embedded in all our products. So with this ONPASSIVE ecosystem, what can happen, or what is going to happen to us, is that we, the pioneer people, to be the first customers, the first users of these products, can transform the world with what we have. And what is that? Our ONPASSIVE ecosystem with our products. We cannot say it enough. So, take for example, I was born and raised in Cameroon, in Manfé. Of recent, about 2 years ago, the, the, the hospital that I was born in was burned right to ashes. Okay, it was burned right to ashes. Now, do you think I have any plan, or do you think I will just let it be like that, or do you think I will have that opportunity to create some avenue to help reconstruct that facility? Yes, I will. And what and how will I do that? I will channel it through our O Bless, right? I will channel it through our oblates. You, Brother Andy, I cannot put this cost and say, oh, I want to help build or reconstruct my the hospital, and you will see that cost and you will not chip in something. Would that be enough? Put it this way. We are 1.4 founders in ONPASSIVE. Let's say we just 1 million founders decide to chip in just $1. Do you know the effect of $1 times 1 million? That is $1 million. Do you know what that can build in Manfe? We can have 3 of those sophisticated hospitals that we want. Whether if we want a hospital that will be run by everything AI, we will have it. We will have it. So the enormous benefits that this ONPASSIVE ecosystem will bring to the continent of Africa is outstanding when you think of it. Now, take another way. That same place that I grew up from, I was born in I'm raised in Manfe before I went to school and all blah, 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 and now here. But my heart is still there. So now, let's say I decide and I move on to the village. I'm like, oh no, I want to bless every family in my village with a reseller position. Do you know the economic benefit of that? Every household, we have a reseller position, and they'll be able to generate income. And this income will be generational income because it will keep on continuing. When I do that to them, look at what I will tell them. I'll say, okay, you know what? This is what I've brought. I'll teach you how to do it. And what will you do? The only thing I need you to do is when you start making some amount of profit from this ecosystem, I would like you to bless 2, 3, 4 people, or just say one person in your family, anywhere. Then I said, that is the reciprocal effect. You should continue. Tell the next person to do the same. The person you bless them, tell them to do the same. In the next 2, 3, 4 years, do you know that effect? Do you know what will happen to that community? It will be different because our CEO has blessed us with this. Let's understand. The first thing is, people, let us get this wrong, okay? If you don't understand your business, you will not be even able to impact other people to understand it, right? So let's try at this time with all this technology. We have the tech pros, we have all other leaders, the ones for marketing. We have Mike Ellis, we have Marty DeGamo, we have Michael Williams, right? They are bringing these marketing concepts that we did not know. Jeffrey Muller. If we add them to the technical aspect that I know and the tech pros know, it will be beneficial for us to be able to explain it more to other people. Because if you don't know your business, how will you explain a business to another person to join you? It makes no sense, right? So please, ONPASSIVians, let's first understand our business and let's use this ecosystem judiciously the way I have explained those 2 examples. There are so many. As we go along now from here, we will develop on that more. So, Brother Andy, I yield it over back to you and Brother Collins. Let's continue. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Michael. Yeah, it really intrigues me actually because you're quite right. It's the power of numbers. If you've got 1.4 million founders and every single one of them are making an income, and they just donate, like you say, $1 a month, $1 a month. How many projects could you actually do? How many projects could be completed in a year? It's a phenomenal opportunity because if you've got 10 projects, you're not going to need 1.4 million like that. So you know 100,000 here, 100,000 here, 100,000 here, 100,000 here. Now I agree with you. There are lots of these hospitals, orphanages, schools. All of these things are extremely important. There's also things like electricity, water, yeah, and there are so many things that are imperative. Not what excites me, and I get it. I totally get it, because you know, and I feel sorry if you, in a way, because you guys have kind of been left behind, but it's been done on purpose, and that's what sickens me. So when you got these new technologies, like Chris Johnson did a webinar with Obless, and one of the guys that did a presentation was talking about machines that simply take water out of the air. Doesn't matter if you're in a desert or in the middle of Manchester, you can still take water out of the air. And he also was explaining about these machines that take that power themselves. So you jump start it, and then it continues to run. Yeah, free energy, and these things can then be used in villages to provide electricity. So this is just the start, because there's so many of these hidden technologies, and then you move that forward. So Gideon, what are your thoughts? What would you like to see have happen in Nigeria? Because Nigeria is very similar in respect to Cameroon and the problems associated with it.
Thank you very much, Andy, and thank you, Mike, for your earlier submissions. It's very, very clear that Africa, Nigeria, or any other country in Africa is going to benefit massively from ONPASSIVE. If we look inwards very well, we'll find out that there are a lot of opportunities in Africa. But the surprising thing is that even the people that are standing on these opportunities, people that are sitting on these opportunities, don't find them because the obstacles are too enormous that it surpasses, and it makes it difficult for us to see there are a lot of advantages here. Let's just look at probably agriculture, for instance. There are a lot of money that can be made in agriculture, but then the challenge here is that even if you know how to go about it, if you know how to go about it and probably have a little resources, you might not know how to make profits. You might not know how to contact people on the other end to supply your goods to them, to make sales, and some of these things. But I would like to talk about how ONPASSIVE connectivity will help Africa in terms of agriculture, in terms of bringing up things that are within, especially like here in Nigeria. We have a very vast landmass. We have fertile ground for agriculture and all this kind of thing. So when we within ONPASSIVE, we can have all the resources that we need. Just as Mike talked about now, people who are into agriculture here can have affiliate accounts. It can be set up for them. They can set it up for themselves, and they can make a huge amount of money to support their businesses. Their businesses may be small businesses at the beginning, and along the line, it will become very big. Now, anytime I talk about any other business aside ONPASSIVE, I would like to make myself clear that the idea of having a business like, say, agriculture, improving on agriculture or any other thing in Africa is just to make money. Because when you're in ONPASSIVE, money becomes something that's very insignificant. It becomes a no issue because the ONPASSIVE is your first business. So now what are you trying to do? You're trying to solve a problem. You're trying to solve a problem in the area of maybe food security. You're trying to solve a problem, helping. Not everybody would be able to be an ONPASSIVE. If you are a small farmer, maybe you take care of your farm by yourself. By the time you are in ONPASSIVE, you find out that you can expand your farm to 10 times, 20 times, 100 times the size. And what do you need? You need to employ people. And these people you employ are benefiting indirectly from ONPASSIVE. And as you're doing that, you find out that you'll be able to find people who can purchase your goods. The connectivity will have, digitalization will give you access to the whole world. You can access the whole world just in an instance. Look at us here now. I'm here in Nigeria, and you guys are in UK and in Canada, and we are talking. That's how we people who would be doing business from here to the world will be talking, finding people that they will do business with using ONPASSIVE ecosystem. I can be very sure that as we speak right now, there are people who are in ONPASSIVE who can tell me where I will sell my cassava by the time I produce it. That is, I'm sure of that. And so that is how it will happen to anyone who is not finding how to where to expand your business or where you can market your goods will be very, very easy. And as we have talked about it, it's very important that we understand that these things are possible. One of the things that make us not to do anything is when we always think nothing is possible. But everything is absolutely possible. We have the resources, we have the people, we have the technology. AI is everywhere now, and AI can play a very good role in agriculture. And it can even make it easier, make it very, very faster for us to be able to produce what we want to produce, and make it very easy that we don't need all the manpower that we would have needed initially, like back in the days when there is no to do what we have to do. So when we understand all these things and we try to harness all this information, put them together and implement them, knowing that we have all the resources in ONPASSIVE to do that, it gives us a very great edge. I just talked about this aspect. I know there are maybe other things we can talk about, other ways we can expand on this, but the opportunities in ONPASSIVE is very enormous. It can cut across every facet of life, every system, every business. But just as I talked about agriculture, agriculture is quite a big business. Just that some of us who don't understand the basics, we feel that it's a very I can remember very well when we were growing up, agriculture was looking for food, So once you can find food to eat, you are done with agriculture. But today, it is far a bigger business than just looking for what to eat. So let me stop here for now.
Thanks, Gideon. It is interesting because we're not just talking about the way that the money that's going to be generated from ONPASSIVE to be able to help people, but also the products themselves make a hell of a difference. I mean, we're talking today. You guys are in different locations, as you pointed out, Gideon, and obviously when we've used the other video conferencing platform in the past, there have been issues with connectivity. When you've got 15,000 people on the call, it's very difficult for the guys in Africa to stay on that call because they keep getting pushed out. Whereas the new system that we're introducing through ONPASSIVE, the OKIT, has, as we've pointed out, has an AI induced system that actually sends the computer enough bandwidth so that you guys can still be on the call. And it's unlimited. So you could have 1 million people on the call and half of them from Africa and the other half from America, and it wouldn't matter. You'd still be able to be on the call. And that really is where, again, Mike, you mentioned about digital transformation and how this is going to change the entire way that the world looks at certain things. And with the products that ONPASSIVE has got, we've got an opportunity here to be able to offer these to others that are also going to be able to benefit. And ultimately, like you said, you take on other people that are then given an affiliate position, if you like, and they can benefit from it from the money perspective as well as the product. So, Collins, I'm sure you've got loads to add. What would you like to say?
Yes, Andy. No, I was just listening to Mike. Mike said a lot of stuff, which was really good, and as well as Gideon. We're talking about changing Africa, not only Africa, like the whole entire globe, because we have 1.4 million founders, and this 1.4 would try to do things in their own way. But Mike made a really clear statement. He said, this is something, for us to be able to achieve this, we must know our business. You must know, because normally these problems are there, but how do we solve it if you don't know your business? Because you must be able to grow into ONPASSIVE to make that, that income to get that financial breakthrough, because it is not like you come into ONPASSIVE today and you become a millionaire tomorrow. It's not a get rich quick scheme. You know, like the way Maddy was saying to that thing, I listened to Maddy's show. People are watching a lot of things. Yes, ONPASSIVE is expanding very fast and people are seeing a lot of things. But they believe because of ONPASSIVE is expanding, it means their bottom line will be swelling and swelling and swelling. They'll just wake up one day and they see this. No, it's not that. You know, they are doing a lot of stuff, but what Mike has tried to say here is we must get the habit of understanding what ONPASSIVE is all about, knowing your business, because it's only about the knowledge you can grow very fast. It is so easy for you to grow. If you cannot succeed in ONPASSIVE, it means there is nowhere on this planet Earth you'll be able to succeed. You know, sometimes people will come on, they say, oh, I have a business. They want to introduce you. Do you know how many people, these people who said they are top marketers or they believe they are marketers, have introduced, they get in and they fail? Why are they still looking for a lot of people? Because the moment Andy called me, I go in, I cannot make what Andy is making, or I cannot make a dime. I'll leave, and Andy need to go and look. And the more people Andy brings in, they disappear from Andy. It means Andy bottom line will be dropping because there's nobody to stay there doing all those for Andy to earn more. The more people we bring, that's multi-level, you know. So, but there are people who go, they say, oh, like someone messaged me, you know, on Facebook, I have a business for you. I say, you know what? You say you're in ONPASSIVE and you see sharing that, it means you don't even know the business you are in. Because if you are in ONPASSIVE and you keep on telling people, I can invite you here, it means you are bringing people to go and lose their money, because you know you are making something big and you want them to come and lose to feed, you know, to swell your bank account. That's how I call it. You want me to come and swell your bank account, because if I come and I cannot replicate what you are doing, it means I'm the biggest loser. I've enriched you, but I cannot do what you are doing. So one of the advice is we should concentrate on ONPASSIVE, because this is the game changer. It is digital product. Mr. Ash Mufara did something wonderful. It will never happen again. You know, we always said, look at the other tech giants. They are fighting each other. Do you think they cannot do this? It's because they don't want to do it. They didn't build their system to bless humanity. They didn't build it to share the world, because they can still share their world and still remain multi-billionaire on earth. We know all the tech giants. They can share, they can bring 1 million people and say, come, every month you'll be getting this. Even put a cap. You know, they can even set a cap and say, all right, your cap is 100,000, your cap is 50,000. I'm telling you, a lot of people will see shift in because it's digital. The more they develop and grow their business, a lot of people will come and say, all right, we need 1 million people. That is it. We bless you and we sell the product on your behalf, or even sell it and put something commission to you. They will never do it. But Mr. Ash Mufara built a business and said, come in. The moment you come in and you own it, you'll be successful. It will take a little bit, not like it will graduate. Maybe day 1, you can become, we never know. Maybe day 2, maybe 1 month, 3 months, 4 months. But at least you are in something that you are 100% sure that you will grow. Who don't want to be in ONPASSIVE? Who don't want to become an athlete? Where have you seen on this planet Earth where you are using a digital product and the company is paying you, giving you commission? We use Zoom. What did we get? We are using StreamYard now. What are you getting, Andy? Tell me if you ever get commission that for using this.
No, I don't get commission for using this. It's the only reason we use it is because you can link this one.
Correct. Correct. Yes. So we are paying them every day. They don't really care. All the products we are using out there, nobody cares. They know whether you like it or not, you will use it. Mr. Ash said, you know what? I know even if I block it, you like it or not, you will use it because digital product is best of the best. But he said, no, I will not go down that route. I will open it, come in, and you can still make commission. So what do you think? If I was a Zoom user, I would jump into O-Connect, because I know if I click that button, not only will I stay there using the product, but the company will give me commission, give me something. I'll be making some, even if it's 100 quid, it's money. Because you use the other one, they're not giving you a dime. Even if it's just 50 quid, it's money. You know, as long as something is coming, you turn and you look at the wallet, something is coming. It's something. At least you can put gas in your car. You can do something. You can buy something for your. It's so important for us to look at this, shift a little bit back, look at the product and say, where will you get a system that will work for you, where you can come in, not only using the product to enhance your own business. Just imagine Engineer Mike was a marketer. He said, I have a business and I want to trim my link. You use O-Trim. You trim all your URL and the company is still paying you. You are using their product to enhance your own business, making money from your own business, and ONPASSIVE still give you something. Say, thank you very much for being in for us, for using our product. Where will you get that? So see how business will come in, you know. And if we start to understand this, the founders, they get this idea of growing their business, making sure they own it, as Mr. Ashmufara said. That is the time we can say, like Gideon said, ONPASSIVE will be your only business. Now you'll be thinking about how do you create jobs for others? How do you do food preservation? We don't even have it. You know, start to preserve food. We waste food every day in Africa. Look at the thousands of food. Even in Cameroon, they throw food. When during rainy season, you know, the farmers, they grow food. Right then there is like hunger because everything skyrocketed. But imagine if we have the mechanized way of transforming those excess, preserve it. So in the time when we don't have, there's no surplus, we can see a constant supply of food. ONPASSIVE can do it. Founders can start to think about, you know, providing all of this. What about low cost houses? What about, no, there's just a lot to do. Not only everywhere across the continent. Start to think like, okay, this type of landlord that are increasing. Even in UK, I started thinking about UK. I said, you know what? House rent is skyrocketing. What if I start to buy and I cut the price down? What will happen? You said, I'm giving you a reason to live so you can take care of your family. It is there we can do it. If there is the will, there is a way. And ONPASSIVE now is the way. So we must have a will to start to do this. So I will leave it there, Andy.
I think the one of the things that I find fascinating and disturbing at the same time is because you know, a lot of people are concerned. They go, oh, I can't, you know, I can't build my business. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Most of us have been to a restaurant at one time or another. Well, all of us have been to a restaurant at one time or another, and if we've really liked the food, we've told our friends, haven't we? Well, that was easy. But did we get paid or did we get a commission for doing so? No, we didn't. So why don't we look? You know, there are products that we've got that many people won't use. I get that. But understanding and knowing how they work and how the business work makes it easier to be able to go and explain, to share. Doesn't take an awful lot. So what else, Michael, would you like to add into the conversation with us today? Come on, your turn again.
Yeah. Man, Colin just brought in a lot of nuggets, okay? He blew my mind with all what he's saying because it's as if he's just reading my mind from what I have in here. Let me tell you this, brother Andy. Let's put it this way. He talked about a lot about our food excesses and what is going on. For the past 3 years that I've been in ONPASSIVE, okay, I've been looking for all those. Remember, I talked about the fourth industrial revolution, which is coming. And what we, as ONPASSIVians, we should be looking is to get Africa from where it is, or the world, every struggling society and community and country, from a state of where they are to a state of either mini industrialization or complete industrialization. Okay, and what do I mean by complete or mini industrialization? Broccoli's talked about excesses. They are throwing excesses and everything. Do you know that, Andy, we don't have the cooling system that you people have on here in the developed world? We don't have that. So how about ONPASSIVians partnering per country to get this kind of cooling system that can cool down and preserve vegetables, fruits, perishable goods? We don't have them. That's a world on its own. That's a market on its own. If all of us decide that that's what we want to do, we can do that. Can you imagine? Now, the second part he's talking about still the excess of food. For the past 3 years that I've said I've been in ONPASSIVE Plus, what I've been doing is to investigate and to get companies. I have a whole folder of companies that produce machines. Okay, let's take it this way. I just told you people before I came here, before Gideon came up, I say I would like to bless every household in villages in where I came from. Charity begins at home. Mr. I say you fill your tank before you go outside. So when I finish filling my tank, I'm going to my village. If I decide to give every founding reseller position to every household, they will have something. Okay. Now, in the Southwest region where I come from, right, we have like an institution. They have seeds for farmers to plant. Be it that I decide to bless those people and they decide to get, they are making that income. And they decide to say, okay, they call it SOEDA, in the Southwest Development Association or whatever. They will go there and buy seeds for corn, seeds for cocoyam, seeds for yams, seeds for plantains, seeds for bananas. And when they have that real products that is coming from somewhere, I don't know where they breed it, or it's from a research center or whatever, they're able to have products, more products at the end of each farming season. Imagine, Andy, that I say, okay, let me create a cooperative for all the farmers. Go to one of those companies that I've researched about, get a machine that will be using, transforming those semi-finished to final products. Let's say I decide to say, okay, let's get one for corn fufu, a machine for corn fufu. So all the corn that is being thrown will be brought to, we will buy everything, right, in a small cooperative and bring it and start it from scratch, process it right to the finished product. We don't need to send it abroad. We can start consuming it right in where we are. We can have our own market just right where we are. Get another machine that produces cocoyam to finish, to get us to have a finished product which is called cocoa fufu or whatever. We can get one for powder plantains, so everything is about that semi-industrialization. Do you know what will happen to that society? We will have jobs. And remember, we can also decide we don't need to break the rules of the Cameroon government, right? If Cameroon government says, let's say a laborer's pay wage is let's say 100,000 francs CFA, which is about, let's just say 50 pounds per month. Let me put it in the way you understand, 50 pounds a month. Now, in our own company, because we have that love for humanity, which our CEO is giving us the baton of command to take and run with it, I can decide and say, okay, Collins, let's pay these people different. So the pay is the same, 50 pounds. We don't take the 50 pounds away. Otherwise, the government will say we are shutting them down or we're competing with them, right? Take that one. We take it, boom, 5 pounds a month, 50 pounds, every worker, fine. Then, how about Andy? I say, Collins, hey, let's do something different. We decide to give every worker, employer that comes to work a show-up bonus per month. That show-up bonus, we can make it equal to 50 pounds or 3 times 50 pounds, because that one is coming from you. It's not, you're not going anything against the government. Now, decide. We say, okay, we have the wage for a cleaner or housekeeping department is, let's say, 2 pounds a month. We will give them that 2 pounds. Then we say your show up bonus is 10 pounds. Can you imagine the world? So these things are the concept is here. The only thing we need now is those apples to start falling. I mean, like me, I would join with the tech pros, my brothers. We are from the same place, right? We go we think the same, because I was just sitting here, but Collins was just saying it as if he's saying my mind. That's how it blew up my mind, and I just came up again with this concept. We will join ourselves and we will make this happen. That's agriculture. Go and get those seeds in Northwest region. Another place they call Medino. It's like it's the same sweater, the same spot, the same people that produce these seeds. They are there in the Northwest. We go get, we create this association. We create this small, how would they call it, like cooperatives. We'll say, okay, this cooperative is buying everything. So, for instance, a basin of cocoyam costs, let's say, £2. Okay, we can decide to buy all the cocoyams from all the women, all the farmers around there, and we instead say £10 for each. Then again, we will be giving them bonuses for people who always bring their products to us. And we are not, it's not for us. It's just to create the economy. Michael Williams said you should make the environment feel what you're doing. They should feel us everywhere that we go. So we will do these things in a different way. So we are trying to transform, get like a semi to a maximum industrialization. That's all we need. Create these jobs so that idle people should have jobs. We have so many people on the street. But if you go to just go, for instance, I go now to the street, right? I say, hey, I just start my car there. Somewhere, talking to the guys there, hey, do you need a job? Because they are basically going up and down because they don't have a job. Can you come to my company? We'll have a company, a cooperative. And the only thing that we do there, will be making decisions. But the people who will be down there, who have been there, they know these people. They'll be the people to run it. We'll just make decisions. We don't need to be there present. But when we make the decisions, our impact, the financial impact that we'll bring in, will make that difference. And so we are not, it has happened so many times, but we are not letting nobody to come in between us again. This is the time we are united with my brothers. We will make this happen. You know why? Because we got the powers. You know why? Because we got ONPASSIVE. You know why? Because we got the ONPASSIVE ecosystem. And we'll make it happen, Andy. So over till next year. Let me
Gideon, come on. Gideon, it's your turn. Chip in. What else would you like to add?
Yes. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you, Andy and Collins. I should say Mike has finished it. Something. I will say something, of course, because when I was talking about initially, I mentioned that once we are in ONPASSIVE, it's no longer about money. So the empowerment that Mike talked about is the main thing here. The empowerment and creating an ecosystem within the people, where everything can be produced. Like it can be like a community where that self-funds itself, that produces what it needs and cares for the people within the community. And if we can establish that in every community, like every village or every local area, from place to place, we find out that we are going to eradicate poverty to an extent. To an extent, we are going to eradicate poverty. What I mean here is that let's say in a local area there are probably 10, 15 communities, and in each community we establish what Mike has just explained. Maybe just one ecosystem of farmers that everybody produces, empower everybody to farm on their own, produce whatever they need, bring it back to the community. The community, that's like the cooperative, buys it up and gives them, empowers them further by giving them more bonuses so that they can go back and bring in more. So in a nutshell, we are growing a community of people that are self-sufficient, a community of people that are going to be always grateful, that gratitude will reign. In this case, because most of the challenges of starting a business or scaling a business everywhere in the world, also in Africa, is that the companies are not ready to pay the workers well. So when you don't pay the workers well, when you don't empower them well, their instinct tells them they should steal from the system. And when that starts happening, you know the end result. But in this case, it's like a reverse technology. The people are going to be empowered beyond what they need. They will be beyond what they need, to the extent that when they receive the empowerment, they will be asking, what can I do? They will be asking themselves, what more can I do? Because they feel they're not doing enough, because what they have gotten is far more bigger than what they have put in. So they will be trying to exert themselves to do more. That will help the system to become self-providing, self-funding, kind of self-sufficient. And we take that from one place to another, from one place to another, from one place to another. You find out that many people would be out of poverty. Because basically, poverty is not just about not having enough. It comes from the mind. Once somebody feels that there's no way out for me, that's the case. But this will give people sense of responsibility, sense of belonging, that they are part of change makers. They're doing something new. They're doing something that's going to help the community going forward. We have the ability to do all these things just because we are in ONPASSIVE. Yes, because not the government can do that for you. Not any philanthropy organization can do that for you. Even if they can do what they can do is within their limits, because they also have limits. But in ONPASSIVE, there's no limits. Just as Collins talked about the products, there is no limit. Mr. Ashmufare will say, anything on the other side of zero, any digit on the other side of zero is something. Then you start from there, but there is no end point. It can expand as long as possible, as much as possible. We talk about using Noblesse, we talk about using the affiliates, using the ecosystem, using the bonuses and the commissions that is going to come as time goes. There is nothing that we cannot achieve with all these resources that we have. So I want to encourage all of us, everybody listening to us now in Africa, in Cameroon, in Nigeria, anywhere in the world, and you love what we're talking about. I saw one of our own, many of our people here making and Gideon and and many of them. They talk about some few things that we can do in the case of agriculture within ONPASSIVE. Yes, all of us can do that together. We'll put hands together, and even many other people who are hearing us, who are going to come into ONPASSIVE as time goes on, we'll put that hand together. Start from home. Start from where you are. Try to make the change that is needed and empower many people as possible. And one other thing that Mike said is, when we empower one person, that person will have the power another person, and another person, and another person. And then the ripple effect continue. It's endless. The only way it's going to end is maybe by the time the very last person in the universe has got empowered. Probably we'll go back and start all over again. But there's no limit to what we can do in ONPASSIVE. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gideon. Yeah, I'm a great believer in paying it forward. So if someone does a favor for you, you pay it forward. You give that favor to somebody else. Absolutely. Just a little bit of maths for you. What's interesting is that with Amazon, it's taken 20 odd years to create 40,000 millionaires. It's likely, not guaranteed obviously, but it's likely to create 1 million millionaires within 5 years with ONPASSIVE. Now, interestingly enough, if there's 1.4 million early birds, and let's say those early birds all became a millionaire within 5 years, possible. If they just donated $19,385 each, you would eradicate suffering and homelessness and famine across the globe. Now, that doesn't sound very much, does it? It's not. In real terms, it's not. Because if you're a millionaire, $19,000 doesn't make an awful lot of difference to you. Anyway, Collins, I shall let you put the final word in today. What do you want to say?
Yeah,
Food for thought.
Mandy and Gideon and Michael, they just like light a fire. And I was just thinking, about the food preservation stuff, because this is something that I experienced. When I was really young, went to the village. My mom said, no, we have to go to the village, because he said, we just need to go. So you guys, you don't have experience. You just need to go and see how people live. I said, okay, no problem. I will go, And one of the most important things, that really hit me in my mind, and it's still that I talked about it every time. When I sit and talk about food, I said, I've seen a lot of food thrown away by farmers. So we went to the village. So my grand uncle said, no, we have to go to the market. It was like miles and miles away. We have to walk, you can see this. My grand uncle was like 70 years old at that time, and at that time I'm around my 20s or maybe 19. I'm struggling to walk, but this man was really moving very fast than me. And I said, this is really crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. So when we guys said, I just hit my mom. I said, Mom, can't we take a cab? Mom said, no, we need to listen to uncle. And I said, no problem. We walked. By the time we get to the market, I was already knackered. I was tired, and then you need to, buy what you need to buy and take it back home. And it was miles again, because they just want you to get that experience. So I was like, every time I just turn around, I ask Mom, let's go. Why are we still waiting? My grand uncle would say, wait, it's not yet time. So I was like wondering until when we came back home, then I realized what they were doing. It means when they come, the farmers, when they come with all the crops and everything, food stuff, they walk miles and miles to come to the market. So when they come, say they are selling it at that time, £2 or £3. So these people, the buyers, they will wait until when the market is about to close. These people will drop their price down to £1 or 50 pence. Then that's when they will buy. And sometimes, because they know the farmers cannot take it back, the excess, they will dump it in the market and go back, because they cannot carry it back again, because they have a lot of food in the farm, which they need to still bring the next market day. So I sat and I look at this thing, I was really like, my goodness, to carry all this, come and dime, and then you cannot sell everything, dump it in the market and go. It's crazy. And then where we come from, like the coastal part, we came, to the village. No, guess what? Fish is very expensive. The difference I saw was because a lot of people buy fish, take it to those villages to sell. I went there, the fish was even cheaper. And I asked my mom, it's like fish is cheaper here than even where we come from. Where fish is coming is more expensive. So when they buy it, bring it here, these people to do the same thing until the fish, why can't we buy it here and take it back? So it was just that experience, like a dumping ground where you see people are really struggling. I said, what if we can preserve this? Said, okay, you give the farmers, like Michael said, give them enough money rather than they train everything away. Go back and starve or struggle with their children or families, send children to school. If you can buy 3 or 4 pounds, the way they want to sell it, rather than waiting until the last bit when the market is about to shut down, they will throw everything away and then you can start to buy it that time. So it was like, my God, what is happening here? These people, they have struggled, they have worked hard, and they cannot make anything. But imagine now with ONPASSIVE, maybe things have changed. You go now, give them this and buy those products. Like Michael said, buy it and preserve it, so you can sell it to those other part of the country where they are lacking some of those things. You go there, you buy it, you preserve it, you take it down, transportation, and you sell it. So there will be food balance across the country and even across the African continent, because there are sites that are starving, lacking or something. Transportation can go, bringing food from. I traveled to Nigeria, I saw food. Honestly, I saw food. I was just looking, because me, I'm really I really take note of things. When I go sometimes, I can see, I can be talking to Michael, but I'm taking note of what is happening around me. And I'm like, my God, look at food, look at forest. What is really happening here? That, like I said, ONPASSIVE now is the way. Do we have the will to do this? The will must come from the ONPASSIVian, to start to think about what is necessary. Because at the end of the day, not everything on this planet Earth, we sometimes you must take care of your need, but not what you want. Because sometimes we buy things we want and we don't really need them. You know, we buy a lot of things we want. Yes, I like this, I like this. But do you really need it? No. You buy 70 cars. Do you need 70 cars? You don't need it. I was reading something, you know, most of they said one man take across, look, you know, across the rich people, those who are millionaires across Nigeria, Africa. You go, you see the big house they have, swimming pool. They have never swim on that swimming pool for once, because they are busy chasing money. They have golf course, they have lawn tennis. They have never played with their family for once. They have gym in their house. They have never even sit on that gym because they are chasing money. So why do we have all these things and you don't even use them? This money can be used to bless others. It's not about showing off that I have the biggest mansion. That's not it. That's not the essence of life. The essence of life is about when you look at people around you, how happy they are. When you open your gate or you come out, you look at the face of all those people. You cannot be on the fence, put a wall around you, and those people live around you. You just think like, oh, when I see sometimes people spraying money in Africa, I say this is madness. Take that money, build a house for a widow, put house and say, I've changed your life, transform your life, rather than take more money and spread it. Sometimes I say this is madness. There are a lot of lives to be changed and transformed, you know, by doing something just small. You don't need to build a decent house, just put a roof over their head. Give them a reason to live again. And you see how God will be opening your way, blessing upon blessing will be coming, just for little things you can do. And if 1.5 million founders can do, I'm just not 1.5, just say 500,000 can do just these things, these little things, life will be transformed. ONPASSIVE will not transform the whole world, but we will transform people's life bit by bit until our time is over and expire. So, Andy, I'll give it back to you.
Thanks, Collins. Interestingly enough, Gene made a comment, if you can just help one person. So if we've got 1 million founders and every single one of them helped one person, and that million helped one person, and that million, it doesn't take long to go around the globe. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Really enjoyed that. Great conversation. Thanks, Gideon. I know you often struggle with the internet and being where you are. Hopefully, very soon we'll be able to start using OConnect, and none of us will have a problem. So, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening, ladies and gents.
I wanted to say something, Andy. Don't go so fast. Thank you.
Go on.
So, when I joined ONPASSIVE and I went to OWinners, we had this project that we were brainstorming about. The project was to get Africa connected. And when I presented the project to our CEO, he coined it a name, Africa. Now, what was that supposed to do? Like to connect all Africa from the north, east, west, and center. We were talking about road. But he decided to say, no, we would rather have it in a bigger scope to get like fast trains, right? Connected like that. So just imagine in that project, we have an Africa grid. The Africa grid will be when we go to the countries that have like water, for instance, Ghana has a lot of dams. We have Democratic Republic of Congo has a lot of dams as well. That if we develop those dams, they can supply electricity to all countries in Africa, especially the big ones, South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana. Then go to the northern part of Africa, the countries that have a lot of solar energy, we can have solar farms and bring it to the grid as well and distribute it to the people who need it. Then this train, the fast train will be across the country, across the continent, and it will be for low price. And we will also gain that grid, electricity for the grid, power. Because this is power we need. We need energy. We need energy to be industrialized. So those are the things that, just imagine that today our CEO say, yes, the project is there because he had an interest in the project when I presented it to him. Just imagine if that can join us together, put Africa that way, they will have that grid. Do you think will not be developed? with industrialization, will we be industrialized? When we have this grid, we have enough electricity, we have enough solar power to power our things, our stuff, to run these engines, these generators, these warehouses or production houses, as we can call them. Africa, we're coming. ONPASSIVE is here. The ecosystem is our gift that our CEO is giving us. Let's hold it jealously and use it to empower ourselves and humanity. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Collins, for joining us, and thank you, everyone, for coming along in your comments today. Please do like and share this around, and we'll see you next weekend, or next week, Tuesday.
Bye, everybody.
Yes.
It was a good one. Thank you.